Well, good evening, everyone. I am Mrs. Sharon Rankin, zooming in from Nashville, Tennessee, and I am so delighted to welcome you to our call this evening, to the Mission Possible call. We are excited that you're choosing to be here. Your presence says so very, very much as we come together as a team every single week. We are the Mission Possible team, and our mission, the greater mission of the Juice Plus Company, is inspiring healthy living around the world. Our mission as a team is that we are a growing team of inspired individuals who are ambassadors or agents for change, dedicated to creating a more prosperous life for as many as possible now and in the future. And we are doing that every single day in our homes, our families, our communities across and around the world. And we are excited. I do believe there's never been a more exciting time than there is right now within the Juice Plus world. So we're excited tonight that we are doing something a little different. This is per request from some of our leaders in the Mission Possible leadership team, that we would have an NMD panel. So I'm going to turn this over to our very capable Deanne Broderson, Senior Sales Coordinator out of Missouri, who is going to moderate us and get us going in the right direction. So welcome, Deanne.
Well, thank you. And I was so honored to be able to moderate this panel. And you guys, you all turned in some really great questions. So we're going to try to get to the majority of them. We realize we may not be able to get to all of them. But this morning I spent some time with our panel, and they are so passionate about these questions. I wish you all could have been a little mouse in they were like, oh, be sure to tell them this and do this. And like, they're so passionate. You guys, we have a support team of partners who only want to see you succeed. And so if you hear something tonight that they say that you want to follow up on, reach out to them privately. I know each of these people individually, and they would love nothing more than to hear from you about how a topic struck you, and tell me more about that. Employ your support team. They are here for you, and they're so passionate. I cannot wait to get to this. Now, having said all that, normally our call is 30 minutes, but there's no way that we're going to get to all of the questions tonight in 30. So we're going to try to get it done in 45. We understand if you have to go at the top of the hour, so don't feel bad about that. Sharon is recording this, and it's going to be shared on the Mission Possible Facebook page. So just, that's where you'll be looking for it. Okay, so let's get to it. Ready? Just buckle your seat belts is all I'm telling you. Okay. All right. So first of all, we're going to go round robin, and I'm going to have each of the panelists answer a couple questions in a round robin. They're all going to take just a really brief time, because this first question, a lot of people ask. So everybody wants to know that. Everybody wants to hear from everybody. And so we're going to start with Sharon, and then Dave, and then Nancy and Ron, and then I'll call the others out. But how long did it take you to get to NMD, and how many hours per day did you spend on your business when you started? Go, Sharon.
Okay, well, I don't know. Let's say 15 months until they created, or 18 months until they created the position for us. We didn't have NMD position when I started in 1984. And we used to have a saying, we worked 8 to faint. Now that 8 to faint was, if somebody called me at midnight and told me they sold something, I was up telling, and I wanted to hear about it. So we were excited to find something that we could earn some money. So I didn't count the hours. We were ignorance on fire, and NSA meant never sleep again.
All right, Dave, go.
All right. I started 1989. 1989. I was 28 years old. And I was just so excited, and it took me 18 months. That's all I saw was the NMD position. How fast can I get there? And I just kind of set my pace to it. Had a plan, went to work, and took 18 months.
Okay, great. And were you also 8 to faint? Were you on that same?
8 to faint. Yeah. Okay. It was like let's do this. It was like, how many more hours a day can I work? You know, I'm not getting there while I'm sleeping. Let's go.
Okay. All right, Ron Jakovac.
Okay. When I got involved, I was so excited about it, to have an opportunity to invest very little. I used to own bowling centers, invest very little, and and have an opportunity for, so the sky was the limit. So when I got involved, I literally turned the TV off for 3 years, and I made NMD in 13 months.
All right,
And,
go.
From
All
there,
right, Nancy.
Yeah, and 8 to faint was just our motto. I mean, that was just the game plan if you wanted to be a national marketing director. It took me 4 years, but that was because the only way I could get Ron in my business was to tell him he could make NMD first. And so he joined me, and it took me 4 years to get there.
Okay. All right, now we're going to turn the corner just a little bit, and we're going to go to Sally. You want to unmute yourself?
Yes. So it took me about 5 years, and unlike the others here, I was scared to death. The idea of owning my business, I mean, everything was new. I was from the nonprofit world, and so I was working full time. So I worked this, but very diligently, but was really, in fact, I remember making my first goal. I was so scared to do it. But the community and all the support really helped me see, yes, you could do this. And so it took about 5 years.
Okay, thank you. Beth, let's go to you.
Absolutely. It took me 14 years. I'm one of the slowpokes. But you know what? I didn't see myself as an NMD. I was so excited about the idea of making some extra money to be financially independent. That's all I wanted. And I loved Juice Plus. So it took me a while. I got, stopped and go and just kind of just continued on 14 years. And that was the happiest day of my life beside my marriage.
Okay. BJ, how about you?
Well, I win. It took me 20 years. Okay. I got to a Q in a year. All right. What happened? It's just I got lazy and sleepy, and I was comfortable, and I loved everything and whenever, but it took me 20 years, and it was the best celebration I've ever experienced. So it was wonderful. It was worth it. It was a wonderful journey. Still is. Thank you.
Charlene.
You'll have to unmute, Charlene.
Charlene, you're muted.
I actually got introduced to the Juice Plus product after, or when it was introduced, because I joined the company in 1990, I think it was 91, and I was selling water and air filtration products. When they introduced Juice Plus, I thought, oh my gosh, I love this company. I don't want to have to leave this company, so I better try that stuff. And it's turned my life around. I was a carton of cigarettes a week smoker, and I ended up getting rid of all of my bad habits, and it turned me around, and I just love this company. I would never leave it, and I'm so grateful for having seen Sharon speak on the stage. My first person I saw speaking about everything, I was so impressed with her that I just thought, oh, if she can do it, I can do it. This is awesome.
And so how many years did it take you to get to NMD?
To get to NMD, I achieved NMD in 2004.
Okay.
2005.
2005. Okay. Awesome.
Deanna, I forgot to say, one thing I forgot to say is when I first began the business, the question was, how many hours did you spend? I did about 30 minutes, about 3 times a week. And then I went to a monthly meeting, and that was all I did for a while. And then once I left my other position, I began gearing up and doing more hours and more hours. But it was just 30 minutes, about 3 times a week at the beginning.
Okay, great. And can you all see the passion? Oh, okay. So that was the first question. I think I hit all the NMDs, correct? Did I leave anyone out? Okay, next round robin question. This was a big one, and we spent a lot of time on it this morning. What personal growth resource has had the most impact on you and your business? So that your team wants to know what impacts you. What's the personal growth resource that you use? So let's go Sharon and Dave first.
Well, I would say when I was first introduced to Jim Rohn, it opened my mind to a whole world of growth, personal growth, and possibility. Other than the Bible, I don't know that anything had that much impact on my life. So I would say Jim Rohn and his whole teaching and mindset, which then started a catalyst for other things. But I would give Jim Rohn the credit for the very first piece of impact in my business.
I'd have to go. I love the Jim Rohn, all of his success principles that he always taught. You just grabbed onto that, and you just follow those rules. You're gonna make it all as far as you want to go. Another one was Jay Martin, and Jay Martin, he just shared things in such simple ways that you just got it. And he had this 10 steps to success, and just do those 10 steps, and that's what we did. It was great.
Okay. Ron.
The person I think Jim Rohn, and there's another person that I've followed, and that's Sharon Rankin.
Yeah.
Sharon's right up there with the greatest motivators that we have in this company.
You bet.
Wow.
Nancy.
Well, Ron knew when I got started, coming from an education background, that I needed all the help I could get. So he sent me to, is it Tom Hopkins? Was it Tom Hopkins who did sales training? He sent me to that school. Of course, he also sent me to blackjack school. So I don't know that, I don't know that that had anything to do with it, but I'm way more confident now when I sit at the blackjack table. Jim Rohn, obviously, and then all of our mentors within this company. And there have been a lot of them. So yeah.
Okay. Beth, what about you?
Well, I'm right along with the group because I came from an educational background, university, and I was a home mom, staying at home a lot. And Jim Rohn, Charlene shared with me Jim Rohn. I listened to the Art of Exceptional Living cassette tapes over and over. It changed my thinking. I was thinking one way, it was like, oh, I could have my own business. I could think this way outside the box. So Jim Rohn, and then Robert Kiyosaki came right after that. You know, the beautiful one of I love that the whole story is the business school for people who like helping people, 8 hidden values in network marketing. I love that. That got me excited about what the potential was and the excitement, and that steered me in the right direction for a lot more to come. But personal growth was huge for me.
Okay. Well, Charlene, obviously you gifted Jim Rohn to Beth. So I'm thinking Jim Rohn maybe for you too, but was there anybody else?
Yes, I would say that Sharon and Ron have been tremendous mentors for me over the years. So I would give them a lot of credit for helping me grow and produce what I have been able to accomplish.
Okay. All right. And BJ?
Well, I admire Sharon. Yes, it was Connor then, and now Sharon Rankin. She was the very first person that I heard speak at an event, and it just rocked my world. And then all the trainings that we did, and Ron and Nancy and Dave, I mean, that was the beginning, and Jay. And then I went to Dale Carnegie. I did a lot of training there, and Toastmasters. That was my beginning in the banking industry. So I started there. And when I went to one of my first conventions, it wasn't one of the first, but it was very impactful in my business career. And Jim Rohn was one of our guest speakers at a conference. And that was my first introduction to him. And he is, you know, just absolutely amazing. So I do encourage him as a leader in our training, but I had the others as well. So.
And Sally, I'm going to have you be the last one on this round robin question. And then Sally, I want to ask you another question after that.
Yes, so Jim Rohn, absolutely. And another one that I realized today was Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, was something that totally turned my head around in terms of the power of the mind and what you think, and to create the life that you want. So that was a really, I think, fundamental, as well as Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that shift between employee mentality and business owner and entrepreneur mentality is a really important learning and growth to happen as you are embarking on your own business.
Right. And what I'm kind of hearing all of our NMDs say, regardless of who the person was, it was a piece that helped them change their mindset to see larger possibilities for their life. It was those people who were teaching how to change your mindset. So, you know, whether it's a modern day Jim Rohn or, you know, it's people who can open your mind to see the possibilities in life. So Sally, how has this experience Juice Plus business, national marketing director, building teams. How has this experience impacted your life as a leader?
Well, when I look back on it, when I first started in the business, I had been established in my volunteer work and some other work, and was very much a leader in that aspect. But when it came to the business, I was very insecure about it. So I didn't have the confidence to be a leader. And so it's been through all of this personal development, the books, the courses, landmark education, also very fundamental in terms of taking responsibility for you, for your life, not being a victim, but you actually have power over your life. And then just being in this environment, being in this community, never missing a meeting, never missing a conference, never missing a training, never missing a call now. I mean, it's just, it builds those skills. And it's almost osmosis. It's not like go to school and you're writing, but it's being empowered, and people that believe in you and say, I know you can do this. It's so powerful when you don't feel you can yourself. And it's just fundamental to growing as a leader in all aspects of our life.
Great answer, especially if you're on this call and you have that feeling like, I don't know that I can do this. So you see in our national marketing directors, there are people who have felt that, faced that fear, and overcome that. So Beth, that leads right into another very popular question that we had from multiple people. How do you support and coach your leaders?
Wonderful. Great question. Great question. Well, there's a few things I'm going to talk about. First of all, I want to teach them. I show them how to do this business by doing it with them, arm in arm, link arms together. I do the activities. They see me as someone that they can follow doing what I'm doing, but I'm also doing it with them. Number two, I love to encourage my team. I encourage them. I open their minds. You can do this. I love using the saying, it's easy. You can do this. I know you can do this, and just getting to the next level, Another thing is I love to create opportunities for them to lead, to get up in the front, to be the teacher, to be the leader, to be the presenter, because I know they can do it. I think when Charlene did that for me, scared to death on a Saturday morning when I was supposed to get up and I almost got sick. Anyway, but she saw in me that I could do that. It was the beginning of what I love to do now is get up in front talk. Anyway, so I want to encourage my leaders to, come on, you can do this, and encourage them. It makes a huge difference. It happened to me. It creates tremendous growth. You face the fear and do it anyway. And then I love to be a cheerleader and congratulate and to celebrate every accomplishment and every promotion. You did it. This is awesome. It's a big, big deal. And I love being the cheerleader and leading the celebration for them. And I love the idea of truly believing in them and their ability, and helping them, maybe painting a picture for them. This is what can happen for you. I see this in you. Let's talk about that. How's it going to feel for you? And just showing them. I mean, Ron Jakovac and Nancy did a great job with that with me. Beth, here's the picture. Here's the picture. We see that for you. And then also, of course, offer support and comfort when they experience disappointments. Holy cow, did I experience disappointments? Absolutely. And I have people to go to, Charlene, everybody, to help me and lift me up through this. So my leaders, I need to be there for them for that. I'm available to them. I think the biggest thing too is I am really available. I'm available anytime for somebody, by text, whatever. I'm gonna get back with them right away. And then the most important thing is let them fly. Let them fly. Teach them everything you can, like Charlene did for me, and say, you can do it. You can do it. Go for it.
Thank you, Beth. Yes. So if your leader asks you to do something at the front of the room or on the Zoom call and it makes you sick to your stomach, they see something in you. They see something in you that needs to be brought to light. So, all right, Dave Rankin, the man the award is named after. What's your best advice for bringing on new members and getting them excited about moving forward?
Oh boy, this was easy for me because I didn't really know much what to do. I would bring them in. I would bring, people would say, hey, and I'd bring them to Sharon, or I'd bring them to other people that knew things. And I said, tell them what you told me. Just tell them what you told me. And I did that for probably my first 6-9 months in the business. So in other words, I connected them. I connected them to the people that could say it so much better than me. And it was just, I was real good at talking to people and sharing my excitement, but get them to the people and just connect them to as many people, not only Sharon, but Ron and Nancy and whoever else was around me. And then my next big thing was get them to an event, get them to some kind of event. Either now we got the online or some physical event, a live event, get them to some events. And I would pick them up in my car, whatever I had to do to get them there. That was it.
Yeah. And so I really want you all to hear that. He did not try to tell them the whole story himself. He tried to connect them to somebody who would tell the story.
I still don't. I still do it the same way. It works.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sharon, now another really popular question that we have. How do you find new team members? How do you find them?
I love this question. I have to tell you, I get excited with this question. So first of all, our business starts with,
run out of people, right?
wait just a minute. Our business starts with who you know, you make a list, and then it advances with who you meet. And in 36 years, I have never run out of people to talk to, never. Last month, I had a new Partner Plus. I'm probably going to have another one this month. And how do I do that? Well, first of all, I remember Kurt Beaver's mother saying one time, and this is so true, and this is a great philosophy, when you go out your door. Now, our door is not just a physical door anymore. It could be the social media door. It could be any kind of door that we go out. But when you go out your door, if you will take Juice Plus with you, if you'll take your mission with you, then you'll never have to go out the door to do Juice Plus. And how that translates for me is doing what I love to do. We like to entertain. And during the pandemic, we kept neighbors coming over. And so now, tomorrow night, Wednesday night, we're meeting with a couple of neighbors that are ready to sign up as partners or ready to talk about as partners. We just got them on as customers. And so we entertain, or we do book clubs, or we do service community stuff. And we're meeting people is what we're doing all the time. So my advice to people is always do what you love to do. And that is attractive. If you're happy doing what you love to do, it's attractive and other people will be drawn to you. So I have a mindset that they're out there looking for me. They're looking, and I'm going to be ready when they say, yes, tell me more.
Whew. You guys, I hope you all are taking notes. These are gold nuggets. This is not just in one ear, out the other. These are distinctions that people want to know, that you want to know. And that's good. That's gold. All right, Nancy, another really popular question was, how do I help my team members grow their businesses? What do I do? I have these team members. What do we do?
How many hours do I have? This could be a whole training,
Exactly.
But I do. This is so humorous because this is proof positive that Davey and I grew up at the same time with the same mentors, because my number one tip here is connect them with as many people as possible. And of course, I learned that when Dave learned it. This was just what we did at our live meetings. Obviously, we're in a situation now where we don't have live meetings, but what do we have? We have connection calls, and we have everybody who's part of Mission Possible and beyond to utilize on these connection calls. So when you get a new person involved, you think about this. When a new baby enters a family, Wanda can't be with us tonight, but obviously she, I think, has the newest addition to the family. And I was introduced to something that her daughter did, which was called a sip and see, where we had wine and all cuddled the new baby. You want to pass that baby around. You want as many people as possible to meet that new baby, and you want the baby to get comfortable with as many people as possible. You don't want to raise a baby in a cocoon. So you don't want to raise your new partner in a cocoon either. You want to introduce them to as many people as possible in as many ways as possible. So connection calls at every step of the process. You know me and connection calls, and still I only do a handful every week. So I'm begging you, utilize me, please. So connect them with as many people as possible. To link arms with them and start talking to people with them. You're going to say to them, who knows you and loves you enough that they'll just listen to what you're excited about, no questions asked. We want to talk to them first. Please don't send them out the door on their own to try to tell the Juice Plus story. Sharon Rankin doesn't remember this, but she used to say, have you ruined them for me already? You don't want somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about to go out and try to sell Juice Plus in one encounter. It doesn't work that way. Let's start a series of exposures and let's start them together. So you're going to link arms and start talking with people. You're going to get that initial list of people who love them enough to listen. Determine which approach you're going to use. If you've read the Eric Worre book, you know there are a variety of approaches. Sometimes you have to come in the back door with them. This is not the time for that long training. Number 3 is get them a check ASAP. Even if it's only a small check, you want a check in their pocket as quickly as possible. That's something to grow on. You're going to connect them to this call. One of the things successful people do is they plug into our team meetings. Our team meetings take place every Monday evening at 8:30. Mark that in your calendar right now. The only excuse for missing a live meeting is what, Sharon?
Death in the immediate body.
I'm sorry, that's the only excuse. Other than that, they're all priorities, right?
And I got that from Jay Martin, so I take it from the top.
So Jay, I was able to finally get the rerun on last Saturday's event, and I got to see Jay. He said the best thing you can do, tell a new person to keep it simple, start a list, work that list with them, and they never stop adding to their list. Okay, that's how I would get a new person off the ground quickly. Obviously, there's a whole lot more to it than that, but those are the steps for quick progress to get somebody sticky.
Very good. And we have had full calls just training on that topic, and we'll do more in the future, but that was on everybody's mind. Let's go to BJ. So BJ, as a person who's doing this business and also doing life, where do I get the motivation to do a little bit every single day? Where do I get that motivation?
Well, it comes from within, number one. When I first got started, I kind of go back to that. And this exercise has been absolutely wonderful. And I want to thank everyone for wanting to ask these questions. It's been absolutely priceless because it's helped us to go back to the beginning and our why we got started. So I think back to, I was a bank executive working full-time. I was raising 3 children. I was a single mom. Where did I find the time? Where do you find the time? And I look at today and where do you find the time? But when you go back to the beginning, it was, I was so busy and very active. I felt, well, I really don't have very much time. But what I did have was a burning desire to make a difference in our lives for my children and for me. And I realized that I was so tired of the madness. I was so tired of working for everybody else, taking care of everybody else. And it was time for me to find myself. I was lost. And so when I found this business, I found that burning desire that I wanted to find the time. So whatever free moment I had, it was all about, have you heard? This is what I'm going to do. I'm so excited about it. My family said, you're nuts. Why would you want to do something like that? I said, because I want to. And I did. And it was just so rewarding. I just was crazy. I was like on fire. I'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and get my schedule ready, or I'd take my lunch hour and make phone calls, and I'd invite people to an event. Any moment that I had, it was focused on the future of what was going to be for my family and for me. And I was so thankful that someone shared this with me. But one thing I want you, sometimes we forget about ourselves. We're so lost in doing and trying to do the things that we think are important. we lose ourselves. And you have to just kind of sit back and think about what your priorities are and what's important to you. And once you design that and you know time is not an issue anymore, those stolen moments come to you naturally. And it's on your heart to make that extra phone call. It's on your heart to invite that person next to you to an event or share your heart with them and what you're doing. So I had lost myself in doing and going and pleasing everyone else. And I was truly searching for me, and the moments just came. So.
But just like Bear Grylls said, find your fire.
That's right. Find your
fire.
fire.
You found your fire, didn't you, BJ?
I did. I did. I was crazy.
Well, Charlene, let's go to you. This was an interesting question. Has there ever been a season you've had limited time to devote to your business? So you couldn't work at 8 to faint, you know? If so, what advice do you have to others that might be in a season like that to stay connected and to keep going?
That's a great question, because I had a challenge where I had a medical issue, and it took me out of the picture, and I lost a lot of my momentum at that point. But what I've made the commitment to my customers and to my team members to stay in touch with them, to support them, to encourage them. And even though I was going through a challenging time in my life, I didn't allow it to interfere with me at least helping my team and my customers to flourish. And they did. So I'm very grateful that I was able to provide that for them. And yet, what was exciting is that because I had such a good customer base and I had wonderful team members, they were able to take the lead and didn't really lose anything in the process. I was able to maintain my business at that level, and I'm looking forward to making some additional changes coming forward.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Great answer. So stay connected to the people you've made commitments to, your customers and your team.
And the commitment to this call every Monday night.
And staying connected to the greater. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Charlene never misses a conference or an event. Okay, Ron, we waited a long time to hear from you. You know, the network marketing world outside of the Juice Plus business is kind of wild. There's lots of opportunities, lots of shiny things out there. So has there ever been a time when you seriously considered quitting your Juice Plus business, and then what kept you from doing that?
Well, I used to own bowling centers. I owned restaurants. I've owned bars. You have not lived until you deal with minimum wage employees. They don't always show up for work. And my sponsor said to me, Ron, you can do real well in this. You'll make $10,000 a month in no time. You're gonna earn $10,000 a month in no time. And when I went to the mailbox to get my first check, I thought, here's that $10,000 check. My check was $1.90. You know, you're on the verge of saying, well, what have I done here? I've sold my businesses. Nancy quit her job. We were out there by ourselves trying to get this business going. I made NMD quickly. Within 3 or 4 months, I had made that position, and I was striving to be a national marketing director, just like everybody else. You hit a wall. And it was about December. I said, I didn't tell Nancy this, but I was going to get into the business that I had just gotten out of, because our income wasn't to the level that we wanted. So I tried to buy another bowling center. And I met with my ex-partner, and I gave him a figure that how much I would pay for the center. And he rejected it. Well, as life goes on, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. The very next day, I was getting a car wash, And the fellow that owned the car wash was a friend of mine. And I had been talking to him about getting into this business, and he was ready to come on board. He had a bad day, and he was ready to join me. Well, he joined me, and because of that, we've earned millions from that one encounter. Now, if I'd have went to that, if my partner would have said, my ex-partner had said, I'll take your deal, I'd have been stuck in the same thing that I had been doing for a couple of decades. So as it turned out, it was a great opportunity for me.
And I'm glad I didn't know about that meeting.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think we've heard that story in various ways from other leaders in our organization. You know, I was so ready to quit. And then just that one thing that you just have to, what did Bear Grylls say? You have to be dogged, determined, you know, gritty, stay with it, and then something turns. So thank you for sharing that, Ron. So as we close, I want to go round robin again to everybody and just to ask, you know, these are people that we admire, our leaders, but we would just really, you know, what do you value the most about your Juice Plus business? We'll start at the top. I mean, I know it's hard because there's lots and lots, but you know, really, what do you value most about your Juice Plus business? Sharon, we'll start with you.
Just asking that question brings tears to my eyes. I would tell you, it brings me emotional just asking that question, what I value most. I don't even know. You cannot put a price tag on the friendships, the relationships, the memories, the experiences, all of that. Would not have been possible if I had not said yes 36 years ago and kept saying yes. You know, it's like Ron had to keep saying yes, or another encounter. So I would say the relationships in the community. I remember, just real quick, I remember Neil Rude, who you all do not know, but he was Jay Martin's mentor in the pots and pans business that Jay sold. And I had a chance to work with Neil early on. And Neil said, the relationships and the experiences, or the community that you have, that you make on the way up, be kind, be nice, be good, because there may be a time when you're coming down and you're going to need that community. And I'll never forget that piece of advice. And not that I've been ugly to people, I've had to be firm, but the community is priceless. I couldn't put a price tag on the relationships that we have. And I value you within this community as much as anybody. So thank you.
What about you, Dave?
Wow, it's the community, the friends. We've just hundreds.
My husband, we found each other.
Yes. There it is right there.
Best relationship ever. All right.
Good. Time, freedom, all the things that come with just the flexibility of this business, the time freedom that you can develop. Obviously the income is wherever you want to go with, but it's the relationships, the friends that we've all made.
Okay. Ron Jakovac.
Well, I would say freedom over money. You know, you can always get more money, but it's hard to get that freedom. You know, I see people every day that they go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, get off at 5 o'clock. They do that year in, year out, decades and decades. And finally they retire. This one here, naturally you have to put in some effort to get to where we are. But if you take one step at a time, hey, I'm a partner, what do I have to do next? Not become a national marketing director, what do I have to do next? I'm a QSC, what do I have to do next? Just get every position. Just start working your way up the ladder. And if you do it right, that NMD position isn't that hard to attain. But I would say freedom. That's what I would say.
Okay, Nancy.
Okay, not to downplay the relationships, the community, none of that, but I honestly think that what I value most is the person that I've become as a result of my involvement with this company. I know I'm not the same person who said yes in what year was it? 1988?
Right.
Gosh, doesn't that sound like decades ago?
That
It
is.
was. And you know, at each step, at each level, we are forced to become a little bit better. We're forced to gain new skills. And I think those skills have served me well in all areas of my life now, not just in my Juice Plus business. So I think the person I've become as a result is what I value.
That's gold. That's wonderful. Sally Reinemer.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Nancy, that I am not the same person that I was when I started. And there have been so many blessings. I'll get emotional too, and so many blessings of a life well lived, of every day being able to know that you have the capacity to really impact people's lives and be in a community that is hands down the most supportive, positive, encouraging, sometimes kicks you in the butt when you need it, and but all for the highest good.
Yeah.
And the help that it's brought, really.
So good, Sally. Beth Lammers.
Well, as an over-the-top, way off the charts extrovert, it's the people and the relationships. I tell you what, I just love the relationships I have with my customers, with my team members, with the community of the larger Mission Possible, with beautiful people across the country that Harold and I have met in this business. But it is absolutely the relationships and just uplifting, challenging, rewarding, wonderful friendships and relationships. And I'm so, so thankful.
You have found your people, Beth.
My people.
My people.
All right. Let's see. BJ.
Well, if I can get rid of the tears, I tell you, it relationships, but this has given me stability and again, permission to believe in myself and to be a better person. And the growth has just been so fulfilling. And, you know, there's so many words that just are there, but I am just so thankful and so blessed to be a part of this and feel the love and the warmth that you receive each and every day, every week on this call, seeing everybody's faces. But the strength of numbers, I feel that, and the stability and just the opportunity to live life and feel really good about what we do as a team and as a family. We're a family. You know, it's a family. And that's what I love about it so much.
Thank you, BJ.
Thank you.
Charlene, what do you value most?
For me, I was divorced shortly before I joined the company, and I found a way to be able to be the mom that I always wanted to be. And it gave me the flexibility that I needed to do that, to have a profession that was credible, that was making a difference in people's lives, as well as my own life and my children's. That was a hugely important thing for me, to be able to have that time with my family and I brought them to a number of conferences, which was really fun thing for me to have done. And they got the bigger picture and they really appreciated who I was and what I was doing to make a difference in the world and people's lives. So that would be what I found was very beneficial for me. And I love the community. I'll never leave this amazing company. It is just a phenomenal company.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That concludes our questions. And so I'm going to wrap up. And I really want each of you to think about your own background, whether before coming to Juice Plus, you were a teacher, a preacher, somebody that worked at Walmart, somebody who ran their own business, if you put together a panel of the leaders in your company or your industry and asked these same questions, do you think you would hear the passion, the emotion, the personal growth journey that you heard tonight? I want you to recognize what you have as your support team. These are top-notch people who've been in the trenches, who know the challenges, and who can help you and want to help you. If you had that kind of environment, tell me about it, because I was in corporate America for many, many years, and there was not this level of caring. There was not this level of passion, except for the bottom line. There was a passion for that over people. I just want you to think about your own background and what you have your hands on right here. And thank you so much for the idea to have this panel. We're willing to have more in the future. If you'd like to see something like this again in the future, we will do it. But thank you for your time tonight. I hope it blessed you like it blessed me. Thank you,
Thank you, Deanne. I can't thank Deanne enough for blessing all of us. Thank you, NMD partners. And thank you, all of you, for sticking in here for tonight. And Deanne put some extra special time into this. So I thank you for organizing us and making sure that we go in the right direction. We love our team. We love our mission. And so let's just go out there, guys, and let's make a difference this week. Let's be the light that somebody's looking for within our community. Have a great week. Love you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Excellent.
Thank you.